Our fourth unit is called Logic, and today we are going to be dealing with Venn diagrams. I'll have a short video for you tomorrow as well that kind of start introducing sentences to you guys. Tomorrow's homework will also include a little bit of Venn diagrams because I think you'll see these on SATs and ACTs and things like that, so I think they're kind of important. All right, so we'll have 2 days to start off here on these diagrams. So when we start off here, it asks you to actually draw one. The 2 homework assignments I give you won't make you draw one, but you may need to in the future. So, but I'm just saying for today and tomorrow, you won't have to actually draw them. You'll just have to read them. So this first one, I'm going to show you how to draw. And then the other 2, I'm going to show you how to draw them and then answer the questions like you're going to have to on the homework. Okay, so a Venn diagram is kind of like this. So what it's going to do is usually it's 3 circles. It could be more, but a little more is going to be very overwhelming. So usually you have 2 or 3 circles like this that are overlapping. So right here in this problem, they're talking about different kind of dogs in a kennel. We're talking about black dogs, short-tailed dogs, and long-haired dogs. So those are 3 different kinds. So I put the black-haired, short-tailed dogs, long-haired dogs, long-tailed dogs, whatever, long hair, sorry. And so those are our 3 different circles. Now, in some of the parts where they overlap, that's going to overlap. In other words, inside this little part is going to be black dogs with long tails. Okay? This little piece in the middle where all 3 circles are enclosed on, these are going to be the dogs that have black fur, long hair, and short tails. So all 3 of them would be in here. Okay, these are just black dogs and short tails. But keep in mind that these ones also have black hair and short tails. So it gets a little confusing in there. But I'm going to show you what I'm talking about, and we're going to try to fill this out. So if you had to draw your own, you would just draw yourself 3 circles that are overlapping like this. And this particular problem gave us 1 piece of information. So there are 6 dogs that are black, but they don't have long hair or short tails. So it's only in the black spot. Okay, so let's read on. It tells me 12 total are black, so I don't know what numbers. That's not going to help me with numbers in here. It says 6 have short tails, so total of 6 in this entire circle, and 15 have long hair. So I'll have a total of 15 inside of this circle. Okay, so it says there's only 1 dog that is black with a short tail and long hair. So there's only 1 dog that has all 3 things. So the only part of the circles that are all 3 of them enclosed is right here. So only 1 dog has all of that stuff. So now it says 2 of the dogs are black with short tails, but they don't have long hair. So we're looking for black and short tails. So black and short tails, those are here, but they said it doesn't have long hair. So 2 goes inside that little piece. Okay. Next, it says 2 of the dogs have short tails and long hair. So we're looking for short tails and long hair, but are not black. So short tails, long hair, that's this piece. But it also says that they are not black. So you don't want that part of the circle. So that's going to be 2. Okay, and then that's all they tell me. So if all the dogs in the kennel have at least 1, so in other words, every single spot is going to have at least 1. That's what that's saying. So one of the mentioned characteristics, how many dogs are black with long hair but don't have short tails? So black with long hair. So that's this piece. But then they're saying, but don't have short tails. So we're cutting that out. So they're basically asking us what's in there. So this is the info that they gave me in the problem. Now I need to figure everything out. Now, they did tell me that 12 of the dogs are black. So right now I've got 6, 7, 8, 9. So I've got 9 so far that are going to be black. So if there are 9 and I know that there are a total, then I'm just that's going to leave me with 3. So if I've got 12 dogs are black, so 12 minus 6 minus 2 minus 1. So what that's going to leave me with, 12 minus 6 is 6, minus 2 is 4, minus 1 is 3. That's really what they're looking for on this. Okay, let's finish figuring this out just so I can fill out this part of the circle and that part of the circle. So I also have 6 have short tails. So total inside of this circle is supposed to be 6. Right now I have 2, 4, 5. So there's only one left. So there's only one dog with a short tail that's not black or have long hair. Okay, and then it also says 15 dogs have long hair. So inside of the long hair, I need a total of 15. Right now I already have 3, 4, 5, 6. So 15 minus 6 is going to give me 9. So there's 9 dogs with long hair that aren't black or have short tails. That's what all of this is talking about. Okay, so I know it's a little confusing. It might be the first time you've ever seen this. I'm not sure. This comes up in a lot in science as well. So I have 3 examples for you today, so it's not the first one. So let's look at the second one. I've got 100 students at a college. We're talking about English, history, and language. So let's do English, history, language. Okay, so 7 of them are taking all 3. So this is the part of the circle in here that all 3 circles cross. So 7 take all 3. Then it says 17 take English and history. Now this part is a little tricky. So for the 17 that take English and history, keep in mind that English and history, this is English and history. So it didn't say whether or not they had language, but it said 17 of them would be in this circle. Well, I already got 7 over here. So if I do 17 minus 7, that's going to leave me with 10. Okay, so if it said 17 take English and history but not language, then that would have been a 17. But since it only said English and history, we don't know who has language and who doesn't. So we have to subtract those ones out. Okay? Next, similarly, it says 15 take English and language. So if I'm looking at English and language, that part that overlaps, here's English and language. This little piece also has history, but inside that blue circle should be 15 of them. So it doesn't say English language, but not history. If it did that, then it would only be this piece. So 15 for English and language. I already have 7 of them. So 15 minus 7 gives me 8. Okay. Then I've got 18 for history and language. So if I'm looking history and language is this place. Okay, history and language, but not English would just be this part. So they're just saying history and language, which is anything in this purple part. So if I've got 18, I got to get rid of these 7. So I don't want to count those 7 again. So 18 minus 7 gives you 11. Okay. Now I have 48 taking English. So right now, my whole English bubble has to have 48. So if I do 48 minus 8, that's 40, 30, 23 left. Okay. And then I have 49 for history. So in my entire history circle, I need 49. So if I take away these ones, I got 49 minus 10, which is 39. 39 minus 7 is 32. And 32 minus 11 is 21. So there are 21 people taking only history without language or English. Okay, and then 38 take language. So my whole language bubble should have a total of 38. So get rid of these. 38 minus 11 is 27. Minus 7 is 20. Minus 8 is 12. So 12 of those kids are taking language, but not English or history. Okay, so this is our circle. And then from here on out is where you're really going to be doing your homework. So you'll get a Venn diagram like this, and they're going to ask you questions about it. For example, it says, how many students for part A take history, but neither of the other 2? So we're looking for just history, but not the other 2. And we just figured that out was 21. So I'm actually going to copy and paste so I don't have to keep scrolling back and forth. So we're going to do that. Make life easier. Okay. So my first question is 21 kids. Okay. Second, take English and history, but not language. So I need English and history, but no language. So we already have that. That's this one right here, which is 10. Okay, take none of them. So to figure out the ones that are taking none, you have to remember how many students were surveyed. So up here, we surveyed 100 kids. So if I had 100 kids to find out who doesn't have any of these, you're going to have to subtract all of this. Okay, so that means I'm going to take 100 and I'm going to cheat my calculator. So you're going to do 100 minus all of these. So I'm going to start with 100 minus 23 minus 10, 7, and 8 minus 11, 21, and 12. And when I minus all of those, my leftovers are 8. So 8 kids are taking classes, but they're not English, history, or language. And then it says which kids are taking exactly 2 of the 3. So if we're talking 2 of the 3, at least 2 of the 3, that's all of this in here. Because it says exactly 2, so we don't want these ones because it says exactly. So if we're taking exactly, we want the 8, the 10, and the 11. So 18 and 11 is going to give you 29. And then this one says did not take a language. So you don't want anything with a language in it. This is all language. So the ones that did not take a language, and you have to keep in mind the 8 that didn't take anything. So that's a little tricky out there. So these 8 that didn't take anything at all, that's obviously not taking a language. So I've got 23, 33, 54 plus 8, which is 62. Little tricky with that. So you may want to make your own little circle out here so you don't forget about these. These are none. The reason why it's totally separate is because they didn't take any of these, so none of them will overlap. Okay? All right, this is why I'm doing so many examples. I know it's a little confusing. So here's my third one. So if you want to pause me, this might be, if you kind of have an idea of what's going on, maybe pause me and go ahead and try some of these and see, try this one and see if you get it right while I go on. Okay, so I've got rock, jazz, classical. Okay, don't have to write the whole thing, just as long as something that can help you go on. So this is my total. So I have a total of 190 kids. Okay, 114 liked rock, 50 for jazz, and 41 for classical. And then they told me, then I've got the moreover, 14 liked rock and jazz. So I know that these two places right here would be a total of 14. And then I had 15 for rock and classical, 11. And then this is the important one. So this is where I must start. The reason why I know that is because I didn't want to put 14 because I don't know who went in there and there. I know that total in this part would be 14, but I need to know this part. So 5 liked all 3. After that, you can start figuring out the rest. So I got 14 that liked rock and jazz. So inside this is rock and jazz, is a total of 14. So I got to take that 14 and subtract 5. Okay. Next, I've got 15 for rock and classical. So here's rock and classical. Total of 15, so take those away. So if you take away 15 minus 5, you get 10. And then I've got 11 for classical and jazz. So classical and jazz, that's this overlap right here. And that's 11. So I got to take away this part. So 11 minus 5 is going to give me 6. Okay, so I'm kind of working backwards in that paragraph. Now let's look at the rest. It said 114 liked rock. So if I had 114, I got to take these away. So I got to do minus 10, minus 5, minus 9. So that's going to give me, let's see, that's 14. So this is 90. Okay. Next, I have 50 for jazz. So if I do 50, get rid of these. So 50 minus 9 minus 5 minus 6. So that's 30. Let me double check myself. Yes. Okay. And then 41 liked classical. So total of 41 right here. So I got 41 minus 10 minus 5 minus 6. That is 20, I believe. Yes. So here is my picture. Again, not this week for making these. I'm not sure if we'll actually make them or not. I will let you know that next week. So I'm going to copy and paste and then answer the questions that go along with this. Okay, now from here, I would like you, no matter what, I would like you to pause me and go ahead and finish answering these. Okay, because this is the part that your homework is on. So this is the part that you should definitely be able to do tonight. Let me get rid of these so it doesn't be any more confusing than it already is. Okay, so how many students like rock only? So when you do rock only, we have to cut out all the other stuff. So rock only we found was 90. Jazz, but not rock. So we're looking for jazz in the jazz circle, but we don't want any of the rock. This is the rock circle. So I've got 30 and 6. Classical or jazz, but not rock. So classical or jazz, it doesn't matter, but not rock. So if I'm looking for classical and jazz, but not rock, I got to leave out all the rock circle. So that means I got 20, 6, and 30. So that's going to give me 56. Classical and jazz and not rock. So classical and jazz. Wait, didn't we just say that? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't read the or reverse. Okay, so I was reading that wrong. So classical or jazz. No, that was right. I'm sorry. It's this one. So classical and jazz, but not rock. So we need both of them. We need classical and jazz, which is all of this, but not rock. So not a 5. So this would just be 6 people. Sorry about that. I read it wrong. Okay, like exactly one of the 3 types of music. So only one of the 3 types of music. This person, the 90, only likes rock. 30 only likes jazz. 20 only likes, classical. So yeah, those up. 20 and 30 is 50, and 90 is 140. Okay, don't like any of the 3 types of music. Well, we got to go back up. So we didn't do that part. We did 190 students. So if you've got 190, you got to subtract all of those. So if I'm going to do 190, I'm going to minus the 90, the 10, the 5, the 9. So I did 190 minus 90, 10, 5, 9. I also got to do the 30, 6, and 20. So if I minus all of those, I'm left with 20. Okay, at least 2 of the 3 types. So 2 of at least, that means it can be all of them. So at least 2 of the 3 types. This is 2 of the 3 types, and this is all 3. So at least 2 means 2 or 3 types. That's all these in the middle. So I got 10, 5, 9, and 6, which is going to give me 30. And did not like either rock or jazz. So rock, jazz, we don't like either of these. So the ones that don't like either of these are the classicals and the ones who didn't like anything. So remember, if that's kind of tricky to remember, you might have to put in those 20 that don't like anything. So 20 and 20 gives me 40. Okay, so your homework assignment's very much like this. You're given basically all of these questions with a Venn diagram, and you have to answer with these numbers. So good luck tonight, and I will see you tomorrow.